that I jumped off is my left leg shot backwards all the way. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Coco, and I'm here with a little bit of a story time as to how and everything that happened when I broke my leg. I remember this day like it was the back of my fucking hand. Like, it was the worst day of my entire life so far, because my entire life hasn't happened yet. But since the day I was born to now, worst day ever. I was hanging out at my ex's house, and I had just got this longboard. It was an Arbor longboard, and I was in love. Like, that was the only thing I wanted for my birthday. I said, Mom, I know it's a lot of money, but I really want an Arbor longboard, because my best friend Nubia had one, so I was like, I have to have one. So she got me it. And I was so stoked. I was riding it every day, and I was like, you know what, let's go longboarding. He didn't longboard, he skateboarded, but kind of the same thing. So we started longboarding down his street. When we got to the end of his street, I was like, I don't feel good, like my stomach hurts. And he was like, do you want to go back? And I was like, no, I got this. Let's just keep going. So we kept going, and I saw a hill, and I thought I was big and bad, and I could go down the hill. I could do my little stunt. So I saw the hill, and you know, I said, you go down first, and then I can tell from if you make it, if I can make it. So he went down, he made it, and I was like, okay, I can do this. So I go down the hill. I don't even think I made it to the stop sign, honestly. So I go down the hill, and I saw a car, and he's yelling, stop, stop, because they were speeding down a 25-mile-per-hour zone. Like, they were obviously going over 25 miles per hour. So he's yelling like, stop, stop. And as I'm going down, like, I see the car just start going past, you know, going through the stop sign. So I freaked out. I jumped off the longboard, and the way that I jumped off is my left leg shot backwards all the way, and I just fell. I was in the middle of the street, just rolling. So as soon as I stopped rolling and I stopped myself, I was like, oh, I just took a nasty fall. So I go to stand up, and mind you, there was no one around when we were out skateboarding down this hill. There was no one around. So I like sit up, and I go to stand up, and all of a sudden, like, there's 3 people in front of my face, and I'm like, where did you guys come from, and why are you guys here? So I'm like looking for my ex, and I'm like, where is he? And I see him like running, like, don't get up, don't get up. And I look at my pants, and my whole pant, like, I still have the pants as memory. I don't know why, but I still have the pants, and the whole pant leg was ripped, and all I saw was the blood from my scar. It honestly looks like I just scraped my knee along the pavement. And it didn't look like I did anything. So when I went to go and try and stand up, this lady was like, don't stand up. I'm a nurse. I work for Cleveland Clinic. Or she was a nurse or doctor. I work for Cleveland Clinic. You can't move. You broke your leg. I was like, what is she talking about? Like, I didn't feel that I broke my leg, because like I was in like shock. So you know, he's calling my mom, trying to figure out what to do. Someone's calling 911. Next thing I know, the ambulance pulls up, and I get in the ambulance, and they pump me with morphine, and morphine, and morphine, and morphine. I don't really know if I felt like I was going in and out, like in and out of consciousness. And, you know, once I got to the hospital, I went to Cleveland Clinic hospital, and we met my mom there, and everyone was there. It was just really me, my ex, and my mom. And, you know, I don't like Cleveland Clinic. I will be honest about that. Like, I didn't like it from this experience, and I didn't like it from, you know, what happened with my dad. That will be another video. But So, you know, I get into a hospital room and I'm waiting. And I thought, you know, I was going to be seen right away. I wasn't seen right away. It was a good maybe half an hour before I was seen. And by that time, the morphine was wearing off and I was in so much pain. I looked and you could actually, like, I'll insert a picture right here. You could see that it wasn't protruding out of my skin, but you could see that my bone was, you know, broken. So the doctor comes in, I'm crying to my mom. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I know that I don't this and that. I'm so sorry. Because at first, wind back a little bit. At first when my ex called her, she was like, oh, just take her to Express Care. She'll be fine. And he was like, no, it's a lot more serious than this. Like, she cannot go to Express Care. She has to go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital, and fast forward again. So the doctor came in, and he was talking to me, and I really wasn't listening because I was in so much pain, so I couldn't really focus. And he said, you know, we're going to have to I forgot what it's called, relocate your knee, because I had dislocated my knee because it shot all the way back. So he's like, we're going to have to relocate your knee, and we're going to have to keep you overnight and get you prepped for surgery. Surgery? What? So before he relocates my knee, he says, you know, you got to get an x-ray of your leg. So we go and get an x-ray, and the x-ray shows that I dislocated my knee, and I fractured my tibia really bad, and I tore both sides of the meniscus, which is on your knee, basically. So I tore both of that, fractured the tibia, and dislocated my knee. So I go back to, like, the little the first room that they take you to before they admit you. I went back to there, and he put me under, and he relocated my knee. I don't really remember what happened in between me being out and me being into the room that I was admitted to, because it's still a little groggy. So all I know is that I wasn't allowed to eat past I want to say midnight. Wasn't allowed to eat. I wasn't allowed to drink anything. So, but the crazy thing is that I couldn't do all of that, but then I had to piss in the morning for, I don't know why I had to piss, but I had to piss in a cup for something. So they take me down to surgery, and I start freaking out. Like, when I tell you I was freaking out, I was bawling. Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die during surgery. I was being dramatic as fuck, but whatever. So, like, the anesthesiologist, I think that's what they're called, the people that give you the medicine and knock you out, you know, he had to come and talk to me and try and calm me down. And was like, listen, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna wake up. You're gonna, you know, you're not gonna feel a thing. It's gonna be fine. And I wasn't listening to a word he was saying, because this is the first time I ever had to go through something like this, like big. And I wasn't listening to a word he said. So the actual doctor, the actual surgeon came out and talked to me and said, listen, you're gonna be fine. I've done a bunch of these. There's nothing's gonna happen to you. So I said, all right. So the anesthesiologist came, he gave me my medicine, and I was in the room. And, you know, they started, well, I fell asleep, but I woke up, so I'm assuming they started working on me. And they put an external something. Don't know what it's called, but here's a picture of it. They put that in my leg, and, you know, to hold it in place. So I had to go around, I want to say a month or two with that on my leg. I couldn't put any pressure on it. I wasn't allowed to anything. So I was basically bedridden. I wasn't allowed to do anything until, like, I don't even know. So I couldn't go up the stairs. I couldn't anything. So I basically lived on the couch for a good couple months. The one thing I hated about that first surgery is that after that I had to get shots in my stomach. Oh, wait. So the one thing I really hated about that first surgery is that when it was time for me to go home, I actually, like, they got me all ready. They dressed my bandages. You know, they rode me down to the car. And I got in the car. First of all, it took like a good 20 minutes to try and figure out how to get me in the car without having my leg bend, because it was not allowed to bend. I don't even think it could bend with the external, whatever it's called. So I get in the car and my mom starts driving, and I kid you not, every little bump, anything, she could hit like a piece of gravel and I would feel it and I would start freaking out. Like, I felt so bad. She had to literally go like 5 miles per hour in like a 35-mile-an-hour per zone, because every little bump would irritate my knee, and it was just awful. So I was living on the couch for a good couple months. I couldn't, you know, go up the stairs to my bed. I couldn't anything. So, and I couldn't go to the bathroom. I had to use a bedpan. Yeah, really bad. I had to use a bedpan. It was the worst thing ever. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't anything. So I had to use a bedpan, and I had to shoot myself in the stomach with needles. Like, for my medicine, I think there were 2 needles that I had to shoot myself in the stomach. I couldn't even do it. I had to have my ex do it, because I was just like, ugh, couldn't do it. So after going around with that, I, you know, had to go back for my second surgery, which was removing the external catheter. Or no, not catheter. External fixator. That's what it's called. External fixator. That's what I had in my leg. And, you know, freaked out again. Really. I really freaked out again. But this time, like, I knew I was going to wake up, but at the same time, I thought I didn't. So, you know, once again, had to go through the whole no eating past this, come in the morning, take a piss test or whatever they do, and, you know, get you all prepped. So after they took that out, I will never forget this. This is one of the reasons why I don't want to go to Cleveland Clinic again. But when I woke up in the recovery room, I started freaking out. Like, flat out freaking out. Like, I thought they amputated my leg, because I couldn't feel my leg. I couldn't feel my leg at all. So I was like, oh my God, they amputated my leg. I don't have a leg anymore. I just want to see my boyfriend at the time. And my mom, like, I just, and the nurse comes in and says, like, you're grown up. Why are you crying? Why are you freaking out? Stop crying. I'm sorry, but for a person who just went through her second surgery and couldn't feel her leg, you tell a patient to stop crying and grow up? That's not right. So I was just like, when can I see my mom and boyfriend? She was like, I'll bring them in. So, and at that time, I didn't see him for like, I want to say a good 8 to 10 hours. Because I didn't see him because I was in surgery and all that. So, they come in and, you know, we're talking, and I tell them what happened with the nurse. And, like, literally, I got to see them for 2 minutes before she was like, you guys have to leave because she needs her rest. I haven't seen them for how long, and you're kicking them out after 2 minutes? Like, this is ridiculous. So, you know, they left. I'm really surprised they left, but they left. And I went back to sleep, and she gave me more medicine. So then after that, they were helping me. Like, after I left the recovery room, I went into the room that I was admitted to. And, you know, they installed a external catheter. I think that's the one where you, like, pee in a bag but you don't have to go to the bathroom. They installed that, and they had me hooked up to my medicine. So I was sleeping one night, and I woke up in pain. Pain. Like, they would come in like so I was supposed to get my medicine like every couple hours. But I think it was the night nurse or the morning nurse that missed my medicine. So I woke up in twice as much pain than what I was supposed to be in. And every time I would press that red button, it didn't do anything. So when my mom and boyfriend came, they were like, honey, how are you? I was like, Mom, I'm in pain. I can't do this anymore. So she, she rang the emergency button. And that was the day I was supposed to go home. I remember I was supposed to go home at like 12. They're like, if you're all good, you can go home at 12. It was like 11:30 and I was in pain. So, the nurse comes in and she reads my chart and she says, oh, we missed, a round of medicine. And my mom's like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah, I'm so sorry. We're going to try and this and this. No. So next thing I know, like the doctor's coming in, the nurse is coming in. And it's just a lot of people in a small room that was being shared with another patient. And I was just like, I just want my medicine. And I want all of you guys to go away. So, they gave me my medicine and they say, we're going to have to keep you overnight so we can regulate your medicine. And then you'll be able to leave tomorrow. So I left and I'm fast forwarding because it's a very long story. So I left and I went home. And this point, I actually, I was doing a lot better and I was moving around a lot better, but I was still bedridden, like I couldn't do anything. So I was on the couch and I got really tired of peeing in a bedpan. Like, I don't know if any of you have done that before, but it's really disgusting and I didn't want to do it anymore. So one day I got the balls to try and go to the bathroom with my crutches. It didn't work out, let's just say that. I had a panic attack on the way to the bathroom and my mom was like 0.5 seconds away from calling the ambulance. Like, that's how bad my panic attack was. So after that, I wasn't allowed to get up to go to the bathroom. I had to use the bedpan. So after that, I went back to the doctor and I had to get my staples removed. And here's a picture of my leg with the staples. Sorry if you guys are weak stomached, but this is what my leg looks like. Well, it looks like with the staples in. And I went to go get my staples removed, and they said, you gotta start bending your knee, because if you don't bend your knee, your leg has been straight for so long. If you don't try and break that muscle, you can't walk again. So, they sent me home with exercises, and I did them, but I didn't do them. I went to physical therapy, never really went home and did the stuff that they told me to do. So when it was time to go back for my, I think it was 6-week checkup, I wasn't at the expectation that he wanted me to. Like, apparently I was supposed to be bending my knee and swinging it and all that, and I could barely bend it like 45 degrees. So he sat me down and he said, if it's not at 90 degrees, you're not going to be able to walk again. So that right there was an eye-opener. I was on it. I was like, let's go. Force bend it if you got to. Like, I was telling my ex, I was like, push. He said, I don't want to hurt you. I don't care. Push. So, when it was time to go back, I was there and he was proud. So after I accomplished bending my knee, it was time to walk. Now, this is what my leg looks like when I was able to walk. You can see the difference as to how thick and muscular my right leg was compared to how barely there my left leg was. So, I went to physical therapy and I was able to walk with 2 crutches. And then next time they wanted me to walk with one crutch. So I walked with the 1 crutch and it was fine. And when I was at home or at work at the time, I would try and walk without crutches. And it worked. And my next appointment, I walked in there with no crutches. And I still had the brace on though. But I walked in there with no crutches and my brace on, and he was like, you don't need your brace anymore. And that was the best appointment of my life. And it was just, I don't know. it was just the best appointment of my life, because then I was like, I met all of my requirements. I could walk, I could bend, I could do everything. And that was just a great feeling. So, basically, what's in my leg right now is I have a plate and 10 screws. And here's the x-ray of what my leg looks like. And it's a really unfortunate event that happened, because before that I was like going to the gym every day. I was squatting, I was deadlifting, and now I can't really do that. Like I can't run. I can't really anything. And if I do want to squat or deadlift again, I'm gonna have to do like not the weight that I was doing before this. So, and it sucks because like when it's cold, like I always have to wear leg warmers in the winter, because if I don't, like I get really bad leg pains from the metal, and it just sucks. So, I mean, it's a really unfortunate event that happened, but at the same time, it changed me and made me stronger, and realized, you know, I can do anything. If I can overcome that, I can overcome anything. So that's the story of how I broke my leg and how I got through everything and all the steps and everything. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to this channel and turn on the post notifications. I try and post every Saturday, so don't miss my videos. If you guys have any suggestions or want me to do a special video, let me know in the comments below, please. And we'll see you next time. Bye.